The recent earthquake in eastern Afghanistan has brought a new layer of suffering to a region already grappling with severe humanitarian challenges. A magnitude 6.0 earthquake has left thousands dead, injured, and displaced. But the real tragedy lies in the impact on Afghanistan's most vulnerable, its children. When the earthquake struck, it obliterated entire villages in the mountainous regions of Kunar and Nangarhar provinces. The official death toll has surpassed 1,400, and it is expected to climb higher as rescue efforts continue. Aftershocks persist, complicating relief operations and causing further damage. The rugged terrain, coupled with blocked roads, has made it extremely difficult for aid workers, including teams from Save the Children, to reach those in desperate need. But here's where it gets controversial. This earthquake is not just a natural disaster, it is a perfect storm of crises converging on a nation already teetering on the brink. Nearly 23 million Afghans, almost half the population, require humanitarian assistance this year. Over 9 million people are facing acute food insecurity, and at least 2 million have been forced to return from neighboring countries like Iran and Pakistan. The situation is dire. Children are paying the heaviest price. Natural disasters like this one require a swift and comprehensive humanitarian response. Children need immediate medical care, clean water, safe shelter, and psychological support to cope with the trauma. However, these critical services are being severely hampered by recent cuts in international aid. In 2023, global donors have slashed foreign aid budgets, leading to the closure of about 126 Save the Children programs by May, affecting around 10.3 million people. These programs provide vital support to children in conflict zones, refugee camps, and disaster-prone areas. In Afghanistan, the impact of these cuts is particularly acute. With fewer staff and resources, organizations are struggling to respond effectively to disasters like the earthquake. Many medical clinics have been shuttered, leaving the remaining health facilities overwhelmed and unable to handle the influx of injured. The healthcare system in Afghanistan was already strained before the earthquake, and now it faces an even greater challenge. Save the Children, for instance, has lost funding for 14 health clinics in northern and eastern Afghanistan, which serve 13,000 children. Despite using short-term funding to keep these clinics operational, the long-term sustainability remains uncertain. Earlier this year, I visited Nangarhar province, now devastated by the earthquake, and witnessed firsthand the closure of health centers and the struggles of families to survive. Mothers are giving birth without proper medical care, children are missing crucial vaccinations, and families are losing hope. The combination of pre-existing humanitarian crises, aid cuts, and the sudden impact of the earthquake has created a crisis within a crisis. Humanitarian agencies are stretched thin or absent due to staff layoffs and program closures. This situation demands urgent action. Donor governments must reverse course, unblock emergency funding, and commit to long-term financing for child-focused services. Without immediate and sustained support, we risk seeing a rapid deterioration in conditions. Children may become exposed to waterborne diseases. Families might resort to harmful coping mechanisms like child labor or early marriage, and malnutrition rates could soar in a country where 1 in 5 children were already facing severe hunger before the quake. By October, it was anticipated that 5 million Afghan children, or about 20% of the country's children, would face acute hunger. Funding cuts have reduced food aid by 40%, and 420 health centers have closed, cutting off access for 3 million people. Even before the aid cuts, 14 million people had limited access to healthcare. We must ensure that, when disaster strikes, whether it's an earthquake or a conflict, we have the capacity to respond swiftly and effectively. We must protect children's rights, even when budgets tighten. This is a crisis compounding a crisis. We are witnessing the collapse of essential systems. medical, nutritional, educational, and psychosocial when they are needed most. No child should suffer or die because the world's attention shifts or budgets shrink. The children of Afghanistan were already vulnerable to hunger, disease, poverty, and isolation, and the earthquake has only deepened their plight. What do you think? Should donor nations prioritize humanitarian aid to Afghanistan? Or are there other pressing issues that should take precedence? Share your thoughts in the comments.